Okay, so this video is about Haruki Murakami, and I've really enjoyed his short stories and nonfiction more than his novels. But a little bit about him before we jump into this breakdown of his journey as a writer. So, he's primarily known for his novels, essays, and short stories. His work has been translated into over 50 languages. He was born in 1949 in Kyoto, Japan. He grew up in the port city of Kobe. His childhood was shaped by a blend of traditional Japanese culture and a strong exposure to Western literature and music. Both his parents were Japanese literature teachers, and they immersed him in the works of classical Japanese authors from a young age. But Murakami gravitated more towards Western literature, particularly works by American writers like Chandler Vonnegut and Brautigan. I think he felt a sense of detachment from his Japanese literary traditions. His parents' focus on literature undoubtedly shaped his deep appreciation, but he was still trying to balance the Western and Eastern in his aesthetic sensibilities. So he studied drama at Waseda University in Tokyo, and he was exposed to literature, theater, and the arts. He also developed a deep love for jazz music and Western literature at this time. So his university years introduced him to his future wife Yoko, whom he married, and then he and his wife opened a jazz bar called Peter Cat in Tokyo, which they ran for several years. And as someone that ran a jazz bar, he loved music, and I think you see this rhythmic quality in his writing. So he's published several diverse works of fiction and nonfiction. This includes 14 novels, 5 short story collections, and several nonfiction and essay collections. He made his debut with Hear the Wind Sing in 1979, and my favorite book by him is one of his nonfiction books called What I Talk About When I Talk About Running. So he's a prolific writer and he's been around for a really long time. Now, this is his author website, and here are some of his novels with their covers. I love seeing book covers because they really tell you so much about the world that is to be described. So I think he, as a writer, some of the themes that he looks at as a writer are loneliness, love, living in big cities, the isolation of living in those cities, connecting with other human beings. There's a lot of critiques. There are a lot of critiques about his writing too, but he's widely read in many languages, which shows that he has popular appeal even with his limitations. So, After Dark is one of my favorite collections by him. I really enjoyed that book. And then you have Men Without Women, which is a short story collection that I loved. And his nonfiction, this is one of my favorite books. It's just a book with a collection of his favorite T-shirts. I think he talks about the process of being a novelist here, and then this was one of the books that really got me into running. And I think I'd like to read this next. So yeah, that's a short video about Haruki Murakami. I think what's special about him is his ability to, you know, inhabit both these worlds of Eastern and Western literature. And I think his stories come from that exposure to both the East and the West. And I think his characters are normally situated in larger cities, but through their experiences, he does hit on something more universal about what it means to be human, about what it means to relate to other people in different ways. So, yeah, and an interesting fact about him is that he writes in English and then translates it into Japanese. So that's Haruki Murakami. That's the end of this video.